We are beginning our unit on seasons and weather. This is the first of 8 lessons that I will be reading to you. To start off, we need to go over our vocabulary. Characteristics are ways that we can describe or group people or things together. A cycle is events that happen over and over in the same order. Weather is the temperature and other outside conditions at a particular time and place. Seasons are different times of the year, like winter, spring, summer, and autumn. And patterns are things that repeat themselves over and over. Your purpose for listening is to listen about different places on Earth and the different types of weather, and I want you to be able to tell me the 4 seasons of the year when we're done reading. Hi, my name is Annie, and I live in a big city called Washington, D.C. I'm in 5th grade, but I remember when I was in kindergarten, just like you. Right now, in school, my class is learning about seasons and weather. For my school project, I'm going to be your weather pen pal. I'm going to teach you what the weather is like where I live, and I will also teach you about the weather in different places on Earth. You can help me with my project by answering all my questions so I can learn about what seasons and the weather are like where you live. There are many different kinds of weather. There's sunny weather, cloudy weather, windy weather, rainy weather, and stormy weather. What is the weather like outside today where you live? Excuse me. My teacher says that no matter where you live on Earth, the weather is always changing, hour by hour and day by day. But even though the weather changes, there are still weather patterns during certain times of the year. For example, the weather pattern in summer is mostly sunny and warm. Weather patterns may change a lot in some places and very little in other places. It all depends on where you live on Earth. This is a map of the Earth. I've colored 2 areas on the map blue. One is at the North Pole and one is at the South Pole. Even though the North and South Poles are at opposite ends of the Earth from each other, they share the same weather patterns. The weather pattern at the North and South Poles is always cold, and the land is usually covered by ice. This is the South Pole, which is located on the continent of Antarctica. It is one of the coldest places on Earth. The ground is covered by ice all year long, though it almost never rains or snows here. The wind can be strong and the temperature is freezing cold. I've colored the middle area of this map red. The weather pattern in this area is usually very warm all year long. The biggest change in the weather during different times of the year is the amount of rain. This is a rainforest. During certain months in the rainforest, the day may start off warm and sunny, but afternoon it may rain very, very hard. This weather pattern occurs almost every day. This area gets lots of rain and sun almost year-round. The rain and sun keep the plants and trees green and healthy. Do you see the part of this map that is colored green? This is most of the United States, the country where we live. Most of the United States is on the continent of North America, although the state of Hawaii is made up of islands in the Pacific Ocean. In most of the United States, it's not always cold, like at the North and South Poles, and it's not always hot. Like at the middle section of the Earth, the weather in most of the United States changes with every season, so we get cold weather, hot weather, and everything in between. There are 4 seasons in a year: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Each season has different weather, so the weather in the United States changes depending on where you live and which season it is. Plants, trees, grass, and flowers change in different seasons too. You will also see different kinds of animals in different seasons. This image shows the season called winter. Winter is the coldest season. In some places, snow and ice cover the ground during winter time. Other places that do not have snow and ice are still colder in the winter than in other seasons. Some animals, like bears, sleep during the winter season. Eventually, winter ends and spring begins. In spring, the sun shines a little longer and warmer each day, which melts the ice and snow. In spring, new leaves appear on the trees, new plants grow up from the warming earth, and flowers bloom again. Many baby animals are born during the spring, too. After spring comes summer. Summer is the hottest season of the year in the United States. Summer is the season in which all the plants are at their greenest, full of leaves, flowers, and fruit. Birds and bugs and other animals are easiest to spot in the summer. Finally, after summer comes autumn. Autumn is also called fall. In most places in the United States, the leaves change colors and fall off certain types of trees. The air outside gets cooler and the sun shines a little less each day. Autumn is when the farmers harvest their fruits and vegetables. Birds fly south and everyone gets ready for winter. Let's say the seasons together. Winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Do you know what season it is right now where you live? How do you know? Parents, pause right here, ask them, and then pick back up whenever you're ready. For example, a characteristic of summer is it's hot. And a characteristic of winter is snow. The seasons are different depending on where you live. Not all places get snow in the winter, and not all places are steaming hot in the summer. But one thing is for sure, no matter where you live, the seasons always change in the same order, year after year. When something happens over and over again in the same order, it's called a cycle. Every year, the cycle of seasons begin in winter, followed by spring, summer, and autumn, and then back to winter. I'll be talking about my hometown, Washington, D.C. a lot in my letters, but the characteristics of the 4 seasons where you live might be a little different than where I live. It will be fun to see if your weather is different from mine. I'll say goodbye for now, but I will write again soon. Until then, I hope you're enjoying the beautiful weather where you live. Your friend, Annie. Pause here to ask questions and pick back up when you're ready. Pause here to ask these questions and pick back up when you're ready. This is another question you'll pause for. This is an extension activity for characteristics. You can talk about what that word means and pick back up when you're ready. You can write a sentence where you have discussed what is a good characteristic of a good friend or characteristics of your child, something like that. Here is where you're going to have them draw a picture of one of the seasons as an extension activity. And they can write a sentence. The season is still winter right now, but it's about to be spring. And this concludes our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let your teacher know if you have any questions.